Howdy guys, welcome back to your channel. Maverick here with another episode of KonoSuba. So, a big thank you to all you guys for the turnout in the last episode. It was certainly much more than I was expecting. Apparently a lot of you guys still really love this series, even though it is 4 years old, 5 years old, something like that. Which I guess is to be expected in a way, considering it is one of the iconic isekai animes that's came out in recent years, right? And in fact, I am wondering whether or not I should also watch ReZero at the same time as well, just to give it that 2016 feel, right? And beyond all that, well, it's also thanks to you guys and probably some new friends as well that I've hit the 2,000 subscriber milestone. So again, big shout to all you guys. Give yourselves a clap, right? It has been a long time coming. I may or may not do a special video on 2K, some special reaction. That remains to be seen, right? I'm actually quite busy with work nowadays, even amongst the COVID-19 stuff. The country I reside in is actually one where business is continuing as. But anyways, that's all beside the fact. Let's talk about KonoSuba, right? So last episode, we are introduced to Kazuma and Aqua, and certainly you guys had a lot of thoughts on these two characters as well. Really looking forward to that. And in this episode, I think last episode they mentioned they wanted to really go out and adventure and not just sit on their lazy ass. Well, I guess I can't be that harsh on them, right? They are actually working, so just not working their main job of being adventurers. So I think they're going adventuring this episode, and potentially, I would guess, meet some new characters. I think there's one male lead and 3 female main characters, right? So it goes to show that probably that's the case here, that we're going to meet the other girls, right? So in any case, let's jump right into the episode. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. I mean, you got a pretty cute girl sleeping with you, so... It was just yesterday. Alright. Well, there's always this saying that you got to nip the thread while it's still budding. I mean, consider this. If all these novices eventually turn out to be great heroes, adventurers, and whatnot, maybe actually... maybe actually sending a force to attack here would make sense. Just saying. Right, so we got Aqua, the goddess, healer type. And then we also got a warrior type and a mage type, right? Warrior, well, I guess knight type. Huh. In this case, I would say that Kazuma is probably the rogue of the team, right? If we're going by classic RPG designations and whatnot. Chunibyo, alright. Well, right. Knight, mage. Oof. And you know what? I just realized something. Even though Aqua said that she has healing powers, I haven't seen it yet. Defeat 5 giant toads in 3 days. Oh! When they're talking about giant toads, I definitely wasn't expecting that. This is a novice quest? This is a novice quest? Oh. Oh. Oh, he defeated it. Good job. Wasn't expecting that. I mean, this tells you that all you need to do is bring bait, right? His face. Hmm? Oh. She's just gonna get eaten, isn't she? Oh! Now she gets eaten. Yeah! Go, Kazuma! Yeah, that's the way to do it, right? Flawless plan. You know what? Cheers. Probably the only ones that want to join them are also rejects themselves. Although, considering the first episode, how she is in an advanced job class. I see. Yeah, I was wondering. I mean, she can just basically use the art priest job to actually get people. Oh, it's the mage. Okay, I guess this girl is the Chunibyo. Yep. Right. Mm. マジックアイテム。Good job. I'm liking Kazuma more and more. Let go right now. Let go right now. Okay, I am fully on Team Kazuma here. 100%. Oh, did I see a 90 something in the stat? Arc Wizard. That would be what we saw in the opening, right? Alright. Are they actually going to be able to finish this in 3 days? Being called sad by a Chunibyo. Oh my god. And... Right. Actually, I think she can work. She can work pretty good as you know, lighting for stage effects or something. Let me guess, she's gonna miss or something? That's a super long chant. Ooh. Talk about overkill. Wait, did she actually... Did she miss? Okay. Used up all her MP? Alright. Go, Kazuma! Now's your time! Oh, they did it. See? All they needed was some more bait, right? How does that even work? Yeah. 92. Oh, so they were party trick skills. I was right. Alright. So... she's a principled Chunibyo. I mean, even if she can only... Didn't she lose all her strength? Like I said, only rejects. Alright, so what did they get for that? Oh. So he's level 5 now? Or level 4? Oh! That is quite a lot, isn't it? Five days of wages? Around? I mean, you got an arc freeze, right? Oh. It's the knight. Yeah, the knight seems pretty normal. Yeah, she certainly. Alright, so what's her problem gonna be? Huh? Alright, so maybe a bit low on the social communication skills, probably. Well, I do like that we got the whole party here in episode 2, right? So we can get right to all the fun character interactions and whatnot. Yeah, this is really a peaceful place, isn't it? Well, I was warned that this is gonna be more like, sorta kinda a slice of life in an isekai world. Huh. Megumin actually looks really normal without all her mage equipment. Alright. See you guys after this. Alrighty, so that was episode 2, and I gotta say, looking at that ending, rewatching it again, it seems more and more to me that this is going to be more of the slice of life kind of thing. I do kind of wonder if the opening is more just things that aren't really going to happen anytime soon, right? But I guess in a way it's also quite nice and peaceful as well. I mean, they're literally living together in a cottage, right? And doing some menial tasks, doing some homesteading instead. But hey, at least they got a house, right? So moving up on in society, good for them. But yeah, in all seriousness, I did like how they introduced the characters really quickly, just in this episode. We got the main cast together, so we can continue on. I really don't like it that much when, even though that there's going to be this complete cast, eventually, you gotta wait until like nearly halfway through a series before one of the characters is introduced, right? So this way you can get all the members on board and start having fun immediately. And well, quite the cast here, right? So of course we got Aqua first, the useless goddess, as a lot of you are very fond of pointing out, who for some reason has decided to learn party tricks instead of her normal archpriest type of abilities, right? Or actually, I think based on the dialogue, she has learned them. She just hasn't chosen to show them yet, right? So maybe that also speaks a little bit about her decision making as well. But I'll get more to that later on. And of course, this episode mostly focused on Megumin. I mean, a Chunin character, I do like them, actually. And, I'm actually not as negative about her presence as Kazuma is. I think she has some usages. So, she does seem a pretty fun character as well, and you gotta respect someone who's principled, even if the principle is a little bit wacky, you could say. And she can grow once eventually her levels, she ranks up and gains more magical reserves and whatnot. Then she probably won't be tiring herself after every single spell, right? Oh, and I've gotta say though, one thing, like, I'm really, really liking Kazuma's character right now. If you guys go back to, when Megumin was, introducing herself to Kazuma and Aqua, the eye patch scene, right? I was 100% rooting for him to do that. I wanted him to do that, and he did exactly what I wanted him to. So, right now, I am 100% on board the Kazuma train, right? He is my favorite character right now so far, which is kind of saying something, right? Considering we got 3 pretty interesting and beautiful girls here, but I stand by Kazuma, my man. Of course, that might be subject to change in the future, but for these 2 episodes, I gotta say this is one of those main characters, main leads in an isekai that I am not annoyed with in some sort of way, right? Of course, maybe his abilities could be a little bit better, but hey, he's growing, right? He's growing. He's got other strong allies right now. And then, of course, the knight. Honestly, who calls himself Darkness, right? If I didn't know better, I would say she is the Chuny that they are talking about in this situation, or perhaps they're both Chunys, because she definitely has some problems as well, right? Considering how she entered the scene, right? You got this very archetypical blonde female knight character. While she was still in her serious mode, I was instantly reminded of a lot of these kinds of characters as well, like Ice Wallenstein from Danmachi, or I guess Saber from the Fate series, although I'm not that familiar with her, to be honest. The female knight from Mao Yusha. So yeah, basically that type, right? And then instantly she started speaking, I'm like, yep, this is yet another reject, right? And I do kind of wonder, is her personality going to be based more on the erotic side, eroticism or something, right? I do have this kind of sneaking suspicion that perhaps she overheard, the interaction between Kazuma and Megumin, outside the outskirts of the town, where Megumin was basically blackmailing Kazuma in a way by implying that he was doing lewd things to her. I do wonder if this is actually a knight that's a pervert and who overheard that conversation, and that's why she wants to join the party as well. I wouldn't be surprised by any of that, and it would be quite ironic considering that she is a knight character, and like she said, she wants to go on a holy crusade and so on and so forth, but is instead a closet pervert, right? Maybe not even a closet pervert, because she definitely wasn't being too subtle with her reactions there. But yeah, seems to be a nice, fun cast of characters. And I'm liking their personality so far. Kazuma by far, but all the others as well. On a more serious note, though, like, I know this series is mostly comedy and jokes and parodies and whatnot. If we are going to look at this a little bit seriously, though, because I like to do these kind of things, right? There's, from a classic RPG perspective, there's nothing wrong with this party as it is, right? You got the tank, you got the knight who is there in the front line to observe damage, you got the healer, right? You got Aqua, who is supposed to basically make sure that the tank doesn't fall. The tank can basically draw aggro on the enemies so that she tanks all the damage, whilst the DPS, who in most cases is the mage character, or the wizard as they call them in here, she gets ready for her spells and deals the most amount of damage, right? And then in Kazuma's case, the typical role that would be put there would be a more of a rogue kind of character who is somewhat of an off tank and also provides secondary DPS. I guess Kazuma can fulfill that role. The way that he fights does seem kind of roguish, I guess you could say. And even in this slightly weird situation that are now, I think that still kind of works, right? Of course, they are limited by the fact that their DPS is basically only one shot, but it is, basically a nuclear weapon at this point. So I think their best strategy is actually to get out of this beginner town, right? Because here you're only going to get these weak characters where it's entirely overkill to use Megumin's explosive magic. So they need to go to some slightly more dangerous places and not actually fight hordes of monsters or whatnot, but actually focus on slaying bosses, right? Boss characters. I think the opening actually provides a very good example of what this party can currently do, right? That is the best method for them to sort of rank up, level up, and perhaps gain a lot of prestige and money and levels and whatnot at the same time, right? Go find more boss-like characters, try to utilize darkness and darkness as a tank, and with Kazuma supporting, and heck, if needed, maybe even throw Aqua in there as well, right? She can do some party tricks, maybe it'll be enough to distract the enemy, and then basically buy time for Megumin to get her spell casted, and boom, easy money, easy baby. So yeah, from a slightly more serious perspective, I do hope that is what they eventually go for, right? I don't know, maybe Kazuma can think of this. Like I said in episode 1, I don't think he's entirely useless. He does seem to have I think he does bring some other stuff just beyond just retorts and comebacks and Tsukomi, right? So perhaps they're gonna do something like that. I mean, basically this giant toad slaying quest was a perfect example of being resourceful in a certain way, right? Like I said during the episode, just bring some bait there and easy money, easy peasy, no harm done, right? So yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like there is still some potential with this. Then again, not really sure if they are going to go for this in any sort of way. Maybe they're just here to basically have fun, right? And that would be okay. Alright, that's it for KonoSuba episode 2. Once again, I am still considering to do ReZero. Let me know if you guys would like to see that. Just to sort of go back in time, back to the 2016 season, where both were happening at the same time, right? And, well, that's basically it. Hope you guys like this one as well, and hope I see you guys next week. Stay tuned, stay safe, and bye-bye.